friends, today we are going to create a Hawaiian tiki rubbing. So what I have here is an old waffle box. I also have an old can container. I just want to cut it apart so that I can fold it flat and use the cardboard for this lesson. If you have not done so, go ahead and get your box, cut along one edge, and open it up nice and flat so you're ready. Sketched out a rectangle shape with a pencil. It is about 8 inches by 4 inches long, and that is the shape that I'm going to go ahead and cut out. You can pause this video as many times as needed. What I'm doing now is I'm just going to draw 2 parallel lines. Those are going to make the left and the right side of the tiki. I am drawing with a permanent marker. You are free to use a permanent marker, but I'd probably recommend using a pencil, so if you make a mistake, you can erase it as we go. To complete the basic frame of the tiki, I'm just gonna make a zigzag line across the top so it kind of has a little fringed look. Now I'm going to use a pair of scissors and carefully cut that frame out. That shape is going to be glued to another piece of cardboard. Now the piece of cardboard I had came probably from an Amazon package that I had delivered recently, but you could use any type of cardboard that you have in the house. It could be something off of a cereal box, any type of cardboard surface. It needs to be a harder surface to be able to create this relief. Now, what is a relief? That might be something you're asking yourself right now. A relief, actually the word itself, relief, comes from the Latin verb relievo. It just means to raise. So this is my second piece of cardboard. It's going to be the cardboard that I'm actually going to glue the tiki to. So it's kind of like the background that holds and stabilizes the whole thing. And then I'm going to use any of the additional cardboard that I have to cut out all of these other features. So don't throw the cardboard that you have away, because we're going to be using a lot of it in this project. So you want to measure out a piece of cardboard the width of the tiki and about the size that you want to create your mouth. And your mouth can look any way that you want. I want an open mouth. And again, I'm still drawing with my Sharpie. I'm drawing so that you can see what I'm doing. You might want to use a pencil for this, so if you make a mistake, you can erase it. So my mouth is going to be open, and I kind of made just the lips. So I'm going to go around and cut out this first layer of cardboard, and then I'm going to slip my scissors right through the line that I drew. Since we're gluing this down, no one's going to ever know the difference, and I'm going to carefully cut out that inside shape. The thing that I'm trying to do is I want to create this raised surface so that if you were to have your eyes closed possibly and rub your hands across, you could actually feel what these pieces are. That's going to be really important for the final step of this project today. So once the mouth is cut out, you're going to add your glue, and then you're going to position it into place. Since the piece that I cut out is an exact fit for the inside of the mouth, I'm going to reuse that. So I'm going to draw the line for the teeth, and then I'm going to cut out each one of the little teeth that I want to add. So they're kind of going to be like chiclets. If you know what chiclets is, that's a type of gum that they used to sell that's like perfect little squares. So I'm doing that because, again, I just don't want one row where the teeth are, because it's not going to matter where the lines are that I drew. It's going to matter that the paper's actually cut out and there's little gaps in between each section, because we're going to make a rubbing with this, and if you just rub a flat piece of paper, you're not going to get that texture of where each individual tooth is. So that's why that matters. So continuing on, I'm kind of working my way up in this project from the mouth. So the next thing is going to be the nose. So I just found a piece of cardboard that's about the size of the nose, and I'm going to sketch it out before I cut it out and glue that also into place. Okay, now let's give this guy some eyes. So to create that, again, gonna cut out a piece of cardboard the size that I need. And if I fold this in half and draw out one eye, if I keep it folded in half, when I open it up, I'm gonna have two identical eyes. So that'll give my guy some symmetry. So I'm gonna sketch that out, cut it out, and glue that into place. I'm kind of doing the same thing that I did on the mouth, where I'm gonna cut the inside shape out also. Okay, so now that the eyes are on, remember if I can't feel the actual texture of the surface, it's not gonna show up in our rubbing. So I'm gonna cut out some little shapes and put them on the inside of the eyes for the pupils. Now you guys at home don't need to trace over everything like I'm doing with the Sharpie. I'm really only doing that so that you can see these pieces where I'm placing them, because since the cardboard is the same color, when I glue it down it kind of disappears, so that's just giving you kind of a visual of where everything is. But if you want to do it and then you could go back later and paint this or color it with crayons or markers, that's also another really cool idea of something that you could do with this project. So this next step is really just adding more design features to the Tiki. Now you guys at home should be creating a Tiki however you want yours to look. So not direct replicas of what mine looks like, but your own creative ideas. You're at home, you have a laptop, you can go on and look at different Tikis if you want to do that and come up with ideas. They're endless ideas. Anything that you can imagine in your head, you can add to your Tiki just to be as creative as you want. So tikis are typically carved out of wood, so to give that texture of the wood and how they typically carve them, and the ones that I've seen online and seen in person, I'm going to cut out some vertical lines, just kind of long rectangles, and add that to some of the empty areas of my Tiki to give that final bit of texture. Texture is the word today, and you're gonna know why when we get to this final step when we create the rubbing. Before you move on to the final step, you're gonna have to let the glue dry. I would give it a good hour before you go to the last step of this project. All right, so everything is glued. I have a plain piece of printer paper and a crayon with no wrapper. Using the crayon on its side, I am pushing down and rubbing to get a rubbing of the Tiki that's below it. Now, one hand is firmly holding the paper in place. If you don't do that, the image will shift and you'll have to start back over, but that's no problem because this step is one of the easiest steps. So one hand holds the paper in place, the other hand is pushed down and rubbing. Once you have that complete, you have a crayon rubbing of your Tiki. Now this is one of my favorite parts. After you've created the rubbing, just go back in with additional crayons, any color, whatever choice that you want, and pick out areas that you'd like to highlight, areas that you'd like to emphasize, and use your crayons to do that. Now here's the catch. Next week, we are going to use that Tiki relief collage again. I'm going to show you how to make a print using markers and that. So do not disregard that. Save it for next week because it's going to go along with the lesson that I post for next week. In the meantime, enjoy creating as many different crayon rubbings as you want with this Tiki. Please remember to upload some to the Padlet that's on the special area site. And I look forward to seeing you guys for our lesson next week.